Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the participants. It's a distinguished gathering as all of us have come together from different parts of the world. Women think differently. Most men who have women in their lives must have understood this already. So every day is a special day for women. However, today is extra special for the reason that we are celebrating International Women's Day. So first of all, a very happy International Women's Day to all. Through this WGF webinar, we are also celebrating womanhood in our lives. A lot has been said, written and done globally on women empowerment, and a lot more would be said, written and done in future. However, the greatest impact would be made if a lot is felt from the heart and implemented in right spirit. I personally feel empowered women can make this world a much better place, which I feel God must have considered while making women. It's just that in between somehow, all of us lost our way. Nevertheless, the entire world is thinking in the right direction and walking on the right path if they are making efforts towards empowered women in thoughts, words, and deeds. Trust me, the rest would automatically fall in place. Today, World Growth Forums is trying to make its own contribution towards the cause of women empowerment through one of our WGF webinars. It's one more feather in our cap, which holds many more, such as WGF iTalks, WGF Magazine, WGF Global Business and Investment Forum, WGF International Chamber of Commerce and Industry, WGF Foundation, and many more. I welcome all the participants again. Let's start our discussion. Today's WGF webinar is on the topic, celebrating womanhood in our lives, what the world has done right, what more is needed. First of all, Her Excellency, Ms. Fatima Pneuma from Maldives. Please introduce yourself for our participants and viewers.
Thank you, Ms. Hasina. So, as Ms. Hasina has said, my full name is Fatima Pneuma. I am from the small island state of the Republic of Maldives. Currently, I hold a politically appointed position as a Deputy Minister in the Ministry of National Planning, Housing and Infrastructure. But about me, I come from a family of 5, not big, considering the family sizes from our generation. But unfortunately, I'm the only one who is educated up to a master's degree as of now. My sister is doing her bachelor's degree right now. I started working when I was 17 years old, and part of my education was working, and I was studying parallelly as well. So that was tough, but it was good because it also gave me very valuable experience on the work environment. It made me prepare myself for once I had completed my degrees and started actually applying myself. I do have a very good job right now. I'm very self-reliant. I think I'm one of the more fortunate people because my husband is very supportive, and same can't be said for many women, even still in the Maldives. I mean, we are a very progressive community. We have a lot of senior ranking officials in government as well as in the private sector, but still there is that societal conception of where a woman should stand. So I find myself very lucky to have, even though I have struggled to be where I am today, to have the family that I have, and to be working with the current people that I am working with. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next is Dr. Khaleesh Kumar from India. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. Once again, very good morning to everybody. My name is Professor Khaleesh Kumar, coming from a very remote village of India, that too from the most backward state of India, that is Bihar. I started my journey, and by virtue of my, parents' support, I finished my graduation, BTech from IIT Varanasi. And then, of course, I got opportunity to go to United States. There, I worked with a number of top-notch organizations like Intel. Then again, I came back to British Telecom London, then Northern Radio Corporation. Even I was a major consultant for Duke Energy and all. And later on, I shifted to academics. I joined as a faculty at MIT Sloan School of Management. Friends, I finished my MBA and PhD from MIT Sloan. I did well. I still remember that particular moment. I was young, energetic, and I did very comprehensive research on very, very, important topics, particularly about the United States economy under the chairmanship of Peter Drucker, who was my guru. And during Ronald Reagan's time, I got opportunity to meet the president. And I truly did this particular research work. And what you see today, the United States economy, the foundation was given by President Reagan, and the research work which was done under Peter Drucker and the youngsters like me has contributed a lot. So still, I'm now continuing, I'm back to India due to Corona, and I'm Vice Chancellor of Al-Karim University here in India. This is a medical university, and I'm contributing to the local people and the governance. And around the world, I collect a lot of information on technology and other, the ethical issues, particularly from the very remote areas in the state of Bihar. I'm still contributing, particularly on health, safety, and technology. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And next is Mr. Adam Greenwell from New Zealand. Yes, Adam, please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hasina. It's very nice to be here and to meet you all. Basically, I run an operation in my own name. It's called Adam Greenwell Agency, and the result of that is all of the networking that I've been doing since I left university nearly 30 years ago. And the plan was just to write a book, record an album of music, and start a social program. I was young and idealistic and somewhat crazy to think that these things could be achieved. When I finished that, I would just do my master's and doctorate. But ever since then, as Ms. Hasina will tell you, that just grew into more projects and more international networking. So in short words, I've ended up in a situation where I'd like to be part of, and through my business, lead a citizen-led approach to what's already happening in UNESCO. I've actually signed an MOU with UNESCO, and UNESCO is about advancing peace and security through the cooperation of education, science, and culture. So instead of having member states alone, I'm trying to get a citizen-led cross-sector degree of cooperation to achieve that. And we have friends in UNESCO and now new friends in the United Nations. So that's quite exciting. It will either fail spectacularly or succeed spectacularly. So it'll be interesting no matter what happens.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Next is Ms. Regina Tabe Bate from Cameroon. Ms. Regina, please introduce yourself.
Okay, I am called Regina Tabe Bate from Cameroon. I'm a holder of the Higher National Diploma in Marketing Trade Sales at Tabe University, and I'm currently studying marketing and customer service and sales in the Professional Advanced Diploma. I am also the founder and CEO of Yoga Foods and Beverage Company. We actually started in 2019 with a capital of just 10,000 francs CFA. So in July 2021, I was able to grow and register the business. So throughout my journey, it was very difficult, especially managing a business with 10,000 francs CFA. But with patience, persistence, and discipline, I was able to forge forward, and I was able to improve my profit for my capital from 10,000 francs if a business from 10,000 francs CFA to worth 1.5 million francs CFA. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Next is Mr. Abu Mustaq Ahmed from India. Please introduce yourself, Mr. Ahmed.
Good morning to all. Good afternoon and good evening, whichever applies. I'm Abu Mustaq Ahmed. I'm basically from India and from the Northeast region in Assam. Right now, I'm the Managing Director of AIT, Automatic Integrated Services Private Limited. Myself have done graduation in economics. Then after that, I have done my master's in marketing management from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade in New Delhi. After that, I have worked in so many corporations like Tata Consultancy Services like that. After that, I founded my firm, that is Automated Integrated Services Private Limited, which is working in the banking sector, especially for in the rural areas and for the rural women. As you know, India is a very vast and populous country, but most of the residents are most of the population reside in the village level. But the banking network is very weak in India. Sorry. Banking network is very weak in India, so we founded this AIT, Automatic Integrated Services Limited, for accessing the village residents especially in the banking sector. That is why we are working in the financial inclusion department under the Ministry of Finance, and we are working especially in the rural areas. That's what we are doing, and we are very hopeful that we can get we can provide the services so that rural women can access the banking services. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Next is Ms. Fahmi Akhtar. Ms. Akhtar, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone, and very good morning because I'm from India. Good afternoon, good evening, okay, from everywhere because all are from different parts, right? As myself, Fahmi Akhtar, I basically belong from a very beautiful state that is Assam, and in a very small district of Assam that is Gwalpara. And apart from my family background, yes, I am the eldest one of my family. I have two siblings, which is my younger sister and brother, apart from my parents. And I did my master's in life science, that is in geology. And after that, since 1.5 year, from last 1.5 year, I am busy in my startups. Actually, it's a global venture, which basically deals with tie-ups and collaboration in 23 different lines of industries with 250 plus companies. And it's totally operating in 30 different countries right now. And apart from it, yes, I used to do sometimes charity to some orphanage, actually, especially in the festival, during Puja, during Diwali, or during Eid. And yes, and I have so miles to go in my journey. It's just I have just started this journey since last 1.5 years, right? Thank you. And it's very nice to meet you, Mrs. Hasina.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your introduction. Ms. Audrey Anderson from Australia has also joined us. So next, Audrey, please introduce yourself.
I'm Audrey Anderson, the Australian and New Zealand Growth Director at Mersol Luo, and I talk about branding, digital marketing, brand development for export, brand communications, and digital marketing trends.
Okay.
And I'm based in Perth, Western Australia.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you everyone for your introductions. Let's start our discussion, please. Her Excellency, Ms. Fatima Pneuma, how important is women empowerment in today's world? What, according to you, is true women empowerment?
Thank you, Mrs. Sina. Good question. I mean, it's not a new concept. People talk about women empowerment in very many ways. I mean, and not everybody agrees on a specific or set definition of what women empowerment is. I mean, for me, it does not necessarily mean that we get to have everything a man has. You know, it is more subtle. It's more meaningful than that. I mean, a true women empowerment could be, I mean, making or getting the female child, getting the women to be the best version of themselves. How to do it? Give them the necessary facilities, educate them, you know, make them more aware, create opportunities for them to be more engaged in. These are things, I think, in my opinion, what true empowerment means to us. I mean, end of the day, where we are now as opposed to where we were 30 or 40 years ago, we have made great progress, and a lot of that can be summed up with, for me, just one word: access to education everywhere. Right. I mean, you with education, you open your eyes into what, you know, when society says a woman needs to behave in such a in this way, when your brothers or when your female colleagues say, no, you should not do this, you should do this. With education, you get to actually know, make yourself aware that, you know, that necessarily doesn't have to be like that. You get to choose how you want to respond to certain situations, how you want to apply yourself in certain areas. So I know even now, and we still have a long way to go. Even now, these societal ways or understandings, these are hard coded in us. So it will take a lot of time and a lot of work from all people, not just women, from all people, to move away from that. I think empowerment, women empowerment in general, it's very important. I mean, you take small societies like ours, we have a balanced gender population. So if in today's world, I mean, I do not have the statistics readily available at my fingertips, but let's say half the population is female. So you want to progress, you want development, you need to bring that half of the population to the same level as you are. So empowerment, women's empowerment specifically, it is very important, and you cannot understate that. I mean, it has to be at the forefront of all major programs and governments. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah. My next question is to Ms. Audrey Anderson. How important is women empowerment in today's world? What, according to you, is true women empowerment?
The significance of women empowerment really is for women need to feel good about themselves, right? We need to have self-confidence. We need to be able to make our own decisions about our personal and professional lives. And in so many ways, gender bias has been irrational and unjust towards women, especially in Southeast Asia. My dad originally is from Malaysia, but his family came from Pondicherry. So I understand there's been irrational and unjust bias. It keeps powerful individuals like yourself and myself from achieving our full potential and for leading free lives and which are free from oppression and fear. And really, women empowerment the aim is to boost women's self-confidence by providing us and our colleagues with the resources that they need to have or to identify, and to develop our own hidden talents, better educate ourselves, awareness, and to find a safe place where we can express ourselves and be nurtured and you know, our abilities sharpened. So that's women empowerment to me.
Thank you so much. And my next question is for Dr. Akhilesh Kumar, please. Sir, my question to you is, how do you look at women empowerment in today's world? What should be men's role towards women empowerment?
Very important. When I discuss about women's empowerment, I take one very simple example. A child is born. A child is born, but what is that child? Child is very hungry. Child needs to be fed. If that is so, it becomes something of very paramount importance for all of us, particularly men, that how we can really empower the women around the world. And even the theme of this 22 International Women's Empowerment, they have given, but they have talked about particularly the gender equality, going a little bit of, in the advanced level. And if gender equality is there, I think sustainability factor will come into play. And if that is so, women empowerment, I look at women empowerment as the greatest global challenge. Hence, women are being recognized as the symbol of impacts than men.
Right.
Second part of this, in the same, secondly, women, since women, constitute the majority of the world's deprived population, whether you take the case of India, South African countries, and many other countries, smaller countries, where women are truly deprived of, then this particular population, without having the sustainable resources, it becomes very difficult for them to be in the mainstream and other activities for the global development, for the mankind's development. Yes,
Right.
This was I have to say. And the first question, I would like to a little bit, elaborate that I think the role of men in women empowerment is the same as the role of women for the woman purpose, right?
Right.
Now here, empowerment, as we measure and scale out, we find women suffering from deep-rooted discrimination, which we all see today. Still, even though we have a lot of, progress, growth in the world at the different, acts, but still, they are suffering from deep-rooted discrimination. Hence, men must start in principle and practice restoring equal rights to mitigate this particular burning ocean, to take it to the green ocean practices. And then this will be truly the right moment to empower the women around the world.
Great, Dr. Kumar. Thank you so much. Thank you. And now, my next question is for Mr. Adam Greenwell. The question is same actually. So, Mr. Adam Greenwell, how do you look at women empowerment in today's world? What should be men's role towards women empowerment?
Right. If I could start off with that answer by way of an anecdote. I was on a call with some people doing some development work in Africa, and they wanted to provide motorbikes for the community. And this is, but women don't ride motorbikes. And another person on the call who's an ardent feminist and global expert in women, peace and security said that's a patriarchal judgment. I mean, the guy was actually trying to help the community, but he just had that mindset that women don't ride motorbikes, you see. So I think what men can do is try and look at it academically. And what I would recommend for both genders is a global index following on from United Nations Resolution 1325, Women, Peace and Security, the role of women in peacemaking, the role of women in all these facets of security. What I would do is I would try and establish some sort of index, Women Empowerment Index. We have a Consumer Price Index, we have GDP and things like this. So that would be studied. You'd need sort of like experts to put it together, but you'd also need to draw your material from the grassroots. But that's one way that I can see happening, because like my friend, he did not realize he was making a quote unquote patriarchal thinking remark. He was trying to help. And I think that's the same with a lot of men. I live in a country where the Prime Minister is a woman, the Governor General is a woman, a lot of our heads of companies are women, so you think all is right with gender relations. But what we forget is to get to that level where women have been elected to parliament and women have been given the vote and everything, there's a struggle. And I forget, looking from New Zealand, that internationally this is still quite a big issue globally as well.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you so much. Now my next question is for Ms. Samim Akhtar.
Okay, women empowerment is very, very essential, I can say, in today's world. Not only in today's time, since the art begins its livelihood or anything, right? But it is really important in all aspects. Yes, we can see women is getting in day by day. Women is also getting developed, or I can see the women in various fields, right, from the education to till the CEO of the company, various fields. But there are a lot more places where still these women are untouched, or we can say they are still they haven't get any kind of exposure till now, not even education. So yes, what I believe in all states, or I can say in all places of the world, they should have at least a proper education, so that they can have their own decisions on their life, what they want to do, what they deserve actually, and so that they can achieve their full potential. Because I believe every human being has its own potential, and they can only aspire and they can only achieve their full potential when they will be getting exposures, when they will be you can say when they will be getting some platforms where they can when they can express all their things, right? So yes, women empowerment is so important. It's so mandatory actually in all places. And according to me is women empowerment is what I can see in one word, that is everybody should get a proper educations. Because right from getting the proper education, they can at least see the world, what is going on in the current scenario, and how many places were there, how many fields were there to achieve, to go on. So many things were there, so many things we have to achieve, right? And what I believe, actually, when any human being, not only women, especially male, female, everybody, when they get a proper education, so that they will be able to getting their means you can say they will be able to getting the full potential to work. And that's this about women empowerment according to me.
Thank you so much. Now my next question would be to Ms. Regina Tabe Bate, please. And the question is, how important is women empowerment in today's world? What, according to you, is true women empowerment?
Thank you very much for the question. So for me, women empowerment is essential for the health and the social development for families, communities, and for countries as a whole. So if I want to define what women empowerment is, I would just say it's a part to encourage women, to make them feel strong and make them understand that they can achieve whatever they want to in life if they just have to believe in themselves and their abilities, and they can achieve whatever they want to. They can actually turn their obstacles into miracles.
Thank you so much. So, Mr. Ahmed, my next question is to you. It's how do you look at women empowerment in today's world? What should be men's role towards women empowerment?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Very good question. Uh, we see a lot of women in better position in today's world. Everyone sees their success and progress. It definitely gives an impression that all women are in better position in today's world. However, as I work in rural areas and all parts of India, the reality is that women are weaker and vulnerable. All of us together have to move many mountains before equal status and participation of women in education, society, economy, and politics become a reality, which is not only seen and felt, but which make a lasting impact on the future generations. However, I proudly mention that in many parts of the northeast India, such in the state of the especially of the Meghalaya, women are the bread earners and decision makers. I do not think women empowerment should mean a complete reversal of roles of both men and women. Women empowerment must mean a balance of roles and responsibilities of both men and women in family, society, economy, culture across the globe. As you see, men are decision makers in most families and societies. Over the years, this has been accepted by both the men's and women's. Women look up the men that they would do something for them. But in today's modern world, women are fully capable of taking care about themselves. They do not need the advice and support from men. Nevertheless, men in decision making and powerful positions must make gender neutral policies, women empowering policies, whichever especially needed, and a general environment of education and trust and inclusiveness must be created. This would help women understood and implement more women empowering policies in all spheres of life, creating a cycle of empowerment for generations after generations. Thank you.
Sure, thank you so much. Thank you very much, everyone. We will start now with the third and final round. The first question is for Her Excellency Ms. Fatima Pneuma, please. Do you feel empowered in your personal and professional lives? What would you like to do or be done for a truly balanced world?
Thank you, Ms. Hasina. Do I feel empowered? Yes and no. I mean, I feel like society and family, it plays a key role when it comes to that feeling of self-worth or feeling empowered. I mean, here in the Maldives, we have made so much progress. I mean, conscious effort has been made by our leaders to have more people in senior positions, especially in the political arena, as well as government posts. But still, I feel like there are certain decisions that are very pro-family. For example, like we now get 6 months on maternity leave. These are sometimes I feel like these are kind of things that are held against us in a manner. I mean, when we go for an interview, when we go for a job posting, one of the questions that's very commonly asked is, do you have a family? Do you plan on having a family? So if the question is like in the pro, like, yes, I do. So the employer will see, okay, so in the very near future, I will not have a productive 6 months from this employee. So why would I want to take her instead of this other gentleman that are, equally qualified? But these things, yes, progress has been made. Yes, there is a degree of empowerment, but there is also a lot that we still feel we are held back. We are held back, and that is a feeling that we have. I mean, it cannot be. I don't think laws or programs or these things can address. This has to evolve over time. So that's my take on, do I feel empowered? Yes and no. So that's the second part of the question. What would you like to be done for a truly balanced world? I would like society in general, the people everywhere in general, to take us women on our merit, on our capabilities, on our educational backgrounds, and not considering the fact that we are women, or not just women. I mean, let's not take sexual orientation into account when we are talking about considering people for positions or places or these things. So I would like a very a merit-based society in one word, to sum up. Thank you.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much. Very nice answer. Thank you so much. My next question is for Ms. Audrey Anderson. Do you feel empowered in your personal and professional lives? What would you like to do or be done for a truly balanced world?
Sure. So for me, there's a period where, women couldn't go and get an education because society was perhaps hindering our progress, and times were different. And when my parents emigrated from Southeast Asia to Australia, it gave me an opportunity. And my father was a pioneer to me, who felt that women were just as capable of doing the same roles and duties and being paid the same as men. So having 3 daughters, he taught me and my sisters how to compete on an equal footing with males, teaching us how to improve the lives of myself and my sisters, and influencing me on an early age to be a leader within the community, and to respect and to inspire other women who are seeking employment in industries or jobs which are not so much open to women. So what I'd like to see done for women in the future is not to have us limited by our abilities or our gender. There should be no barriers for women from working in fields where males have traditionally held most positions. For example, in architecture, engineering, law, in creative spheres such as data science, data analytics, programming, coding. Women really should be encouraged and are more than capable of holding down those traditional positions in leadership that men have always really taken.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. My next question is for Dr. Akhilesh Kumar. Who do you think must work for women's empowerment? Governments or the society? What would you personally like to do or be done for a truly balanced world?
See, as far as I'm concerned, you are asking my very personal view. With some of the mix and merges which I collected from across the world, whether the government or society, both are equally responsible. But here, let me remind you once again that I will quote one example. I think many of us might be knowing Madame Ferrero. She was the CEO of Hewlett Packard, right? And she did a lot of work for the Hewlett Packard, and she acquired compact computers, right? In a very short period. Now, in fact, the compact's revenue was more than the revenue what Hewlett Packard generated in the market, in the global market rather. But the board, the governing board said that, no, this we can't do at this particular moment because compact is stronger than the Hewlett Packard. And the board, with the majority, removed her from the position of the CEO. I met her at Harvard Business School. She was there for a lecture. I remember exactly the same thing, that in the general administration, as the top administrator of such a big company, big group, what do you do as a woman? She said, look, I'm capable of doing all such things, and the entire world is behind me because I have a very working principle, a strategic principle as a woman. She said, what I practice in the business is I'm your way. What she said, I'm your way. That was one of the best slogans for the ladies in this world. So let's learn something, from these renowned ladies, those who have led such big organizations. And what I remember that Fatima was talking about, the ladies' role and other things. I really, got impressed about that. So the society, of course, at the end becomes of paramount importance again for the ladies to shape up, to take over such responsibilities when one becomes adult. Now here, the question is, similar thing I have seen in Romania, right? Similar thing I have seen in many other countries. Now here, what society does for the ladies? They shape up the children because the child is born, when I said earlier in the beginning, and they shape up these baby girls to a position where one can really withstand the challenges of the world. But similar thing is not happening. So what's to be done? Now society becomes more responsible than the government. In my view, society becomes more responsible for the government if you really try to compare, to really bring this, women in the front line management, right from the village up to the, you talk about that Senate, Parliament, or politics, so whether it is the administration, whether it is the business world, whether it is the question of education, now everywhere. But again, this is the opportunity you have to provide to the women around the world that, look, you are capable. And so this type of skills development should be really engraved into these ladies so that they can undertake such responsibilities for the economy, for the ecosystem of the country in the different areas, and again, to take the national economy to a new height. Now here, one more thing I would like to, this is very important on this International Women's Day. I have 3 or 4 important points to share with all of you, what I learned. Now, what the ladies, the importance of ladies, women are, number 1, a woman can take speedy decision with conviction. Yes, a woman believes in speedy decision making with conviction, and this is the proven thing in this world. I have seen. Yeah, I have compared myself around the world, and so I know that they are really capable. Second thing, if you want to bring some changes, take the help of the women, and they will really empower your organization. And further, they will get empowered themselves. So they believe in adaptability, changes for the performances, for the productivity, for the milestone achievements. And the third important thing is that, reliability. Women can, be the proven tool for reliability. And reliability is the one important part, because women, normally they believe in quality, right? So whether you see as a housewife, or whether you see in the office or in the administration, in the politics, anywhere, They believe in the equality. So they are very conscious about this. So on this Women's Day, I convey my very strong signal, intelligence, and message to all of us or entire the world that let's make this Women's Day truly, because the women can take speedy decision with conviction. They believe in adaptability with the changes and innovation. And the third thing, that they are reliable. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. What a wonderful answer. Thank you so much. Now, my next question is for Mr. Adam Greenwell. The question is the same, actually, I said for all men. It is, Adam, who do you think must work for women's empowerment, governments or society? What would you personally like to do or be done for a truly balanced world?
Thank you, Ms. Hasina. Well, I think the answer to that is both the top down and the bottom up. And we need to see how civil society can drive the role of women empowerment through the advancement of peace and security, through cooperation between the educational, scientific, and cultural sectors. Now, I mentioned that before when I introduced myself. And I think we need organizing frameworks, and we should look to the existing organizational framework that we have now, which is the Security Council at the UN, and they've adopted Resolution 1325 on women and peace and security on 31st of October 2000. Now, I'm reading it verbatim here, I've just taken notes, but the resolution reaffirms the important role of women in the prevention and resolution of conflicts, peace negotiations, peace building, peacekeeping, humanitarian response, and in post-conflict reconstruction, and stresses the importance of their equal participation and full involvement in all efforts for the maintenance and promotion of peace and security. Resolution 1325 urges all actors to increase the participation of women and incorporate gender perspectives in all United Nations peace and security efforts. It also calls on all parties to conflict and to take, I'll say that again. It also calls on all parties to conflict to take special measures to protect women and girls from gender-based violence, particularly rape and other forms of sexual abuse in situations of armed conflict. The resolution provides a number of important operational mandates with implications for member states and the entities of the United Nations system. So what I would personally like to do for a truly balanced world is simply look at a framework like that. There's another, because they've done the thinking for us, for something to be a United Nations resolution, all of the member countries of the General Assembly have to agree to it. So that's very important. There's another one called the International Day of Human Fraternity, and that can be commingled as well as an organizing framework. And then if I may just talk about my own personal work, I'm dealing with a security company that was founded by an intelligence officer, and when he saw what happened in September the 11th, he thought, how can this be? And he found that the forms of gathering intelligence to help people make informed decisions were very weak. Now, in order to set up what is probably the world's first system of very good, cost-effective, accessible intelligence collection and analysis, it can be used by the business community, it can be used by governments for national security. But the interesting thing is the AI component of that intelligence gathering was invented by a woman in Silicon Valley. Her name is, I hope I don't get it wrong, but I think of memory, Monica Anderson. And that would be a good introduction for WGF, Ms. Hasina. But you see how that comes about. Here I am looking at how do we use that mandate, because I have a lot of female friends and colleagues who are lawyers and advocates and everything. So how do we all work properly with meat and potatoes, things that we can implement? And then I find out that my business partner is using a technology invented by a woman. So that's a very nice discovery.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you, Adam.
Prof.
Yeah, my next question is for Ms. Regina Tabe Bate, please.
Personally and professionally, in my personal and professional life, I actually feel empowered. So if I actually have the opportunity to do something that for a truly balanced world, what I'll do is that I'm going to create campaigns to help sensitize women about their abilities and capabilities, that they can do whatever they want, they can achieve whatever they want. They just have to take a step, and they just have to believe in themselves and their abilities. So I think the most important thing is letting them know or bringing out what is within them. So I'm going to try to create campaigns to sensitize them, to let them know that they are more, they are able, they are capable. So I would like to say a big shout out to all the women out there, all the women, and to the men who encourage women. Thank you very much. You're doing a very great and wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Regina. Now the next question is for Ms. Sahmi Makhtar, please.
Yes, I feel empowered being in personal and the professional lives, because what I feel, because women empowerment is something where the women also should able to get equally get respected, and equally they should get the potential to do everything. And being a girl child from my family or from our society, I never feel like that someone has dominated or someone has given me the decisions. They always give me the ability or give me the choice to make my own decisions wherever I want to go, wherever I want to go do anything in case of work or in my professional life also. And in my business life, what I saw, I never saw like, okay, she is a girl, she can go early or she can't do this work. There is no discrimination. Whether you are a girl, whether you are a male or female, everybody will do their own work. What will be the time, despite of the time? So yes, this is a sign, a good sign actually. What I feel, I feel empowered, and I am blessed enough. I am surrounded with all this kind of people, but still there are a lot more area. There's so many remote areas where you know, and so many people in I also their parents are not allowing them to do whatever they want because she is a girl, not allowing them to go somewhere because she is a girl. She don't have any kind of choice to do anything of her own, not even in a professional life too. So a lot more to go. And truly balanced world, what I feel, being from a life science student, it has a very depth meaning. Apart from the male, female, it has a very depth meaning in case of animals, in case of plants, so much depth meaning. But for a truly balanced world, yes, equally, in all aspects, how much a male contribute, a female should also be contribute in all aspects, whether it is a society or whether it is a homemaker or whether it is in a professional life. And apart from that, what I feel, whenever we are done with our all the goals, all the visions, what I have to achieve, whenever we are, at least we are satisfied and we are done with that, what I feel, we should everybody do some kind of charity, be it to the all those needy child, be it to the street beggars, be it to the orphanage, so that the world can get balanced. And yes, we also should do the plantations, what I feel in my from my study life. Yes, a truly balanced world is for me, it's not only for the human bodies, like only the male and the female part, and we should do some charity to some all those everywhere, not only to the human beings, to the street dogs or the street animals, what I feel. And yes, and for that I am doing this all this whatever is possible and whatever can be done for me, I'm doing all this charity in any kind of, in any day, in any kind of Eid. This Eid is coming, you know, and this Holi, last year also in Holi we have gone to some orphanage to play with all them, and in Diwali itself, yes, according to me, truly a world can be balanced in this way, what I feel.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sahmi Makhtar. Thank you so much. My next question is for Mr. Abu Mustaq Ahmed, please. Mr. Ahmed, who do you think must work for women's empowerment, governance, or society? What would you personally like to do or be done for a truly balanced world?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, government typically make policies and try to inform the society about these policies. However, until and unless society accepts that women have an equal role and equal important role in everything, women empowerment will never become a reality. So, both government and society have to work together. If either one refuses to play its role, all progress made to date will be lost. And both cannot be forced to play their part. It never works. Especially, women must hold powerful positions in government and societies. So, implementing policies, and accepting policies becomes easier. I feel so. I am recently married, and believe me, my odds already balanced at personal level. At professional and society level, I did women empowerment in all the discussions and decisions. I respect women unconditionally and take care that they have a leading role in education, finance, sports, everything else they feel is important in their life. Others must also feel and act in the same way. At the global level, we must have more women politicians, ministers, bureaucrats, entrepreneurs, who must in turn support women in all spheres of life, and women would be empowered through to take care about themselves. In this whole empowerment scenario, if the women have not proper education, then all the policies of the government will be futile. So before I am speaking in case of Indian societies only. Before taking government policies, so government should take steps for the women's education. That's what I feel. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. And I must thank all the participants for sharing great thoughts and true feelings. Also, we listed two diverse thoughts as per the individual conditions and experiences of each participant and their immediate society and country of residence. This has helped bring divergent views on a single platform, creating one platform of excellence. I feel that our thoughts, words, and actions are in sync. And if all of us keep working towards a better future with such positive thoughts, we would soon create marked difference in the society and the world. I congratulate all participants and wish the best in your individual endeavors. With this, I conclude this WGF webinar on International Women's Day, 8th March 2022. Thank you, everyone. Please take care.
Thanks.
And bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to see you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye
much.
to everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Adam.
Bye.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye,
Everyone,
everyone.
hope to see you
See
again.
you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Yes.